Have you ever wondered if there's a dark side to charity? Can doing good sometimes go wrong? Let's dive into the world of philanthropy and uncover some shocking truths. We'll explore how some charitable organizations have been used for money laundering and other illegal activities. Get ready to learn about the National Heritage Foundation scandal and discover how criminals exploit the trust we place in charities. This eye-opening journey will change how you think about giving and show you the importance of being careful with your donations. Introduction to philanthropy. Philanthropy is all about helping others and making the world a better place. Many people give money to charities because they want to support good causes. These causes can include helping sick children, saving animals, or providing food for people who don't have enough to eat. Charities do a lot of important work and make a big difference in many people's lives. When we think of charities, we usually imagine kind-hearted people working hard to help others. We picture volunteers giving out food at soup kitchens or doctors helping sick kids in faraway countries. These good deeds make us feel warm and fuzzy inside. They remind us that there are still nice people in the world who care about others. But sadly, not everyone who claims to be doing good is helping others. Some people use charities as a way to trick others and make money for themselves. They take advantage of people's desire to help and use it for their selfish reasons. This is the dark side of philanthropy that we don't often hear about. The problem of fake charities. One big problem in the world of philanthropy is fake charities. These are organizations that pretend to be real charities but are set up by criminals. They use fancy websites and emotional stories to trick people into giving them money. But instead of using that money to help others, they keep it for themselves. Fake charities often use names that sound similar to real, well-known charities. This makes people think they're donating to a good cause when they're not. For example, a fake charity might call itself the National Cancer Research Fund to sound like the real American Cancer Society. These fake charities sometimes use high-pressure tactics to get people to donate. They might call you on the phone and tell sad stories to make you feel guilty if you don't give money right away. They might also send emails with photos of sad-looking children or animals to play with your emotions. Money laundering through charities. Now, let's talk about something called money laundering. This is when criminals try to make money they got from doing bad things look like it came from good places. They do this so they can use the money without getting caught by the police. Some criminals use charities to do money laundering. They might create a fake charity or give money to a real charity that doesn't know where the money came from. Then, they can say the money came from charity instead of from their illegal activities. Here's how it might work: a criminal group that sells drugs has a lot of cash. They can't just put this money in a bank because the bank would ask questions about where it came from. So, they created a fake charity called Help for Homeless Pets. They pretend to collect donations for this charity and put their drug money into the charity's bank account. Now, when they want to buy something expensive, they can say the money came from their charity work instead of from selling drugs. This is very bad because it hurts real charities. When people hear about fake charities being used for money laundering, they might stop trusting all charities. This means less money for the good charities that are helping people. The National Heritage Foundation scandal. One big example of a charity being used for bad things is the National Heritage Foundation (NHF) scandal. The NHF was a charity based in Virginia that said it helped veterans and cancer research. But in 2020, the U.S. Department of Justice found out it was being used for money laundering. The NHF had been around for many years and seemed like a normal charity. They had fancy offices and nice websites. They even gave out awards to people who donated a lot of money. But behind the scenes, they were helping criminals hide their illegal money. The NHF used something called donor-advised funds. These are special accounts where people can put money and then tell the charity how to use it later. Criminals would put their illegal money into these accounts and then tell the NHF to give it to other fake charities they had set up. This way, the money looked like it was just moving between different good causes, but it was being cleaned for the criminals to use. The NHF also created lots of fake companies called shell companies. These companies didn't do anything except move money around. The criminals would give money to these fake companies, which would then give it to the NHF. This made it very hard for anyone to follow where the money was coming from. How the NHF got caught. You might be wondering how the NHF got away with this for so long. Well, they were very clever at hiding what they were doing. But eventually, some things started to look suspicious. One big red flag was that the NHF was taking donations from people who were known criminals. Usually, charities are very careful about who they take money from because they don't want to be associated with bad people. But the NHF was happy to take money from anyone, no questions asked. Another suspicious thing was how the NHF handled money. Most charities use checks or bank transfers because it's easier to keep track of. However, the NHF often dealt in cash and money orders, which are harder to trace. This is something that criminals often do to hide where their money comes from. The NHF also moved money around in strange ways. They would often transfer large amounts of money between different accounts and companies for no clear reason. This is another thing that money launderers do to make it hard to follow the money trail. Eventually, these suspicious activities caught the attention of the government. The Department of Justice started investigating the NHF and uncovered the whole money laundering operation. They found out that the NHF had helped launder millions of dollars for criminals over many years. The consequences of the NHF scandal. When the NHF scandal was uncovered, it had big consequences for a lot of people. First, the people running the NHF got in big trouble. They were arrested and charged with money laundering and other crimes. Some of them might go to jail for a long time. The criminals who were using the NHF to launder their money also got caught. The government was able to follow the money trail back to them and arrest many of them too. This shows that even if you think you're being clever, crime doesn't pay in the end. But the saddest consequence was for the people who had donated to the NHF thinking they were helping good causes. Many of these people were honest, kind-hearted folks who just wanted to make a difference. They felt betrayed when they found out their money had been used for illegal activities instead of helping veterans or cancer research. This scandal also hurt other charities that had nothing to do with the NHF. When people hear about charity scams, they sometimes become suspicious of all charities. This means that good charities doing important work might get fewer donations because people are scared of being tricked. Lessons learned from the NHF scandal. The NHF scandal taught us some important lessons about charity and philanthropy. We learned that it's crucial to be careful about who we trust with our donations. Just because an organization calls itself a charity doesn't mean it's really doing good work. It's important to do research before giving money to any charity. We also learned to look out for red flags. If a charity is doing things that seem unusual, like taking lots of cash donations or moving money around in strange ways, that might be a sign something is wrong. It's okay to ask charities how they use their money. Good charities will be happy to explain what they do with donations. The scandal showed us the importance of using trusted sources to find good charities. Some organizations check out charities and rate them based on how well they use their money. Using these can help you find good charities to support. Lastly, we learned that if we see something that doesn't seem right about a charity, it's important to tell someone. You can report suspicious charities to the government or to charity watchdog groups. By speaking up, we can help protect others from being tricked. How to protect yourself from charity scams. Now that we know about the dark side of philanthropy, it's important to know how to protect ourselves from charity scams. Before you give money to any charity, it's a good idea to look them up online. Check out their website and see what other people say about them. You can use websites like Charity Navigator or the Better Business Bureau to see if they're rated well. Be careful of charities that try to pressure you into donating right away. Good charities will understand if you need time to think about it. Also, watch out for charities with names that sound like real, well-known charities. Make sure you're giving to the right organization by double-checking the name and website address. It's important to be careful with your personal information. Don't give out your credit card number or bank account information to a charity unless you're sure they're legitimate. If you do donate, keep a record of your donation. This will help you track your giving and could be useful if there are any problems later. Most importantly, trust your gut. If something feels off about a charity or a request for a donation, it probably is. It's okay to say no if you're not comfortable. Remember, there are plenty of good charities out there, so you can always find another one to support. The future of philanthropy. After learning about scandals like the NHF, you might be feeling a bit down about charity. But don't worry. There's still a lot of good happening in the world of philanthropy. Many charities are working hard to be more transparent about how they use donations. They're sharing detailed reports about their work and their finances. This helps donors feel more confident about where their money is going. Technology is also helping make philanthropy better. There are now websites and apps that let you see exactly how your donation is being used. Some even let you choose specific projects to support or connect directly with the people you're helping. This makes giving more personal and rewarding. Governments around the world are also working to make rules that will help prevent charity scams. They're making it harder for criminals to use fake charities for money laundering. This will help protect honest donors and make sure more money goes to real good causes. And remember, for every bad charity out there, many more good ones are doing important work. These charities are feeding hungry people, helping sick kids, protecting the environment, and doing so many other important things. The actions of a few bad apples shouldn't discourage us from supporting these worthy causes. We've learned a lot about the dark side of philanthropy, but remember, there's still so much good in the world of charity. Yes, some bad people try to take advantage of others' kindness. But many more good people are working hard to make the world better. The key is to be smart about your giving. Do your research, ask questions, and trust your instincts. By being careful and informed, you can make sure your donations do make a difference. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the world of philanthropy. We hope you've learned something new and feel inspired to make a positive difference in the world. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more informative content. Together, we can shine a light on important issues and work towards a better future for everyone.